I'm Kara, and welcome to Soul Inspiring Business. I believe that all of us possess unique gifts and talents that allow us to serve the world and our own growth in the highest possible way. Our lives are an expression of our thoughts, beliefs, and actions. And here, we will explore businesses, thought leaders, and topics designed to inspire, helping propel your own growth so you can live your best and most purposeful life. Welcome to Soul Inspiring Business. Welcome back to the Soul Inspiring Business Podcast. I'm your host, Kara, and today we're just talking about the limitations that we may put on ourselves or potentially limits that others have put on us or beliefs that others have put on us that we now believe to be our own when in fact they were never meant to be our own. They were never meant to be ours. And if you follow me on social media, you'll have heard the story of the golden eagle. I wanted to share this with you today because it's a really powerful story and illustration of exactly what we're talking about. So I'm going to go right into it. And this is from a little book called The Song of the Bird. It's written by Anthony DeMello, and we'll link it in the show notes, but it's a very sweet, I'll put it up here. If you're looking on YouTube, you can see a picture of it. It's very worn, as you can see, because I've had it for, maybe 10, 15 years. And it's a little meditation book. It's a collection of short stories that just are designed to make you think and also to almost give you little reminders. Sometimes I think short stories or parables can sum up in a small amount of words what were, these bigger concepts. And so this one in particular talks about, illustrates limiting beliefs. And here we go. So it's called The Golden Eagle. A man found an eagle's egg and put it in the nest of a backyard hen. The eaglet hatched with the brood of chicks and grew up with them. All his life, the eagle did what the backyard chickens did, thinking he was indeed a backyard chicken. He scratched the earth for worms and insects. He clucked and cackled, and he would thrash his wings and fly a few feet into the air. Years passed, and the eagle grew very old. And one day he saw a magnificent bird far above him in the cloudless sky. It glided in graceful majesty among the powerful wind currents with scarcely a beat of its strong golden wings. The old eagle looked up in awe and said, "Who is that?" he asked. "Well, that's the eagle, the king of the birds," said his neighbor. "He and we belong to the earth. We're chickens." So the eagle lived and died a chicken, for that's what he thought he was. And, it's actually, this particular page is earmarked because I've come back to it so many times throughout the years. And actually my process for sometimes reading these stories is just turning to a page and seeing which one, asking for the right one for that day. And this one often comes up. And when I listen to that, what immediately strikes me is that, you have this egg that was put wrongly or rightly, I suppose, depending how you look at it, but it was put in along with the eggs of these chickens. And so they all hatch together. And then this little eagle goes about, because he's been grown up with the chickens and, they've taught him all that they know. And so then he thinks that he's a chicken. He acts like a chicken. He cackles like a chicken. He doesn't use his strong golden wings that I'm sure he has because he doesn't think he can. And then he lives and dies thinking he's a chicken because that's what he was told he was. And so how often in our own lives, I think when we grow up as little kids, these like bursting little souls that have so much to offer, and then our parents, all with good intention, may tell us what we can and can't do. because they're coming from their own perspectives, from their own generational line of what's possible and what they were told that they could and couldn't do. And so it goes on. And so then we begin to believe and take on the beliefs of our parents or the people around us that say what can or can't be done or is and isn't possible. And, but what if, we were meant to break the cycle? What if, in fact, we were meant to be something bigger and we've mistakenly taken these beliefs from others and wrongly assumed that that was true for us? And so, and I'm sure as I say this, I have 3 kids myself, and I'm sure that there's things that I'm doing to them and that they're going to grow up and think, gosh, why did she, I try to be conscious of this kind of thing when I'm raising my kids, but inevitably we're all human, right? And we all come from our own biases and our own beliefs. Um, and it was interesting, synchronistically, I was on scrolling on Instagram and Bradley, he had posted a post and it said something like, when somebody tells you something's impossible, they've just told you what their own limitations are, not what's possible for you, or some variation of that. And then I got this, turned to this page and saw the Golden Eagle story. And I was like, gosh, this seems really relevant to talk about today and just really challenge myself and you to think about, what are the things that maybe you've taken on that may not be true? Are there places that, maybe good intentioned people, right, may have told you what they think is possible, but maybe that's not true for you? Or it also kind of brings up, the sum of your, there's that quote about you're the sum of the 5 people that you spend the most time with. And so really being conscious of, where you spend your energy, where you spend your time, because I know sometimes for me, when I know that a particular environment has the potential to be negative or, not inspiring, not uplifting, and I know that going in, I'll tell you sometimes, being in real estate, sometimes when I go to our meetings, not everybody shares the same belief as me. Not everybody is doing the amount of business that I'm doing. And so there are people that will complain a lot about the market and how things are bad. And I just think, well, and as we've talked about on this show, what may be true for them, it's not necessarily true for me. So even in situations like that, I have to protect myself and know either if I'm going to go into an environment like that, I have to really be mindful of what um, of my own energy and what I'm willing to take in, or maybe not go into those types of situations that I know have the potential to put me in a different place. And instead surround myself with people that are um, problem solvers and who view challenges as opportunities. And so, again, kind of going back to this story and going back to, well, the idea that how tragic to live and die thinking that you're something that you're not, you know, thinking that, oh, wow, like, who is that majestic bird above me? Oh, well, that's not you, because you're this, right? I mean, how tragic would that be to live and die and not really understand or realize what's truly possible for you? And, I think all of these discussions too, it's not that never want anybody to feel bad like they're not in a good place now, but more it's if there's something within you that is calling you to something more, that is not there by accident. That is there for a very specific purpose. Because I think that in life, we're meant to continually grow and evolve. And sometimes we may grow or evolve past our circle. Maybe we, and so it's really important, again, that we surround ourselves with people that are going to uplift us, inspire us, and also that we don't take on the limiting beliefs of others as to what's possible for us, for you. Because what if you were the eagle? What if you were just put in a place where maybe that wasn't cultivated or activated in you, but it's time to activate it now? What if it's time to step into this next place where you're able to soar like the eagle you were born to be? So that's what I have for you today. I hope that this was helpful. I'd love to hear your feedback as always. And if there's a particular topic that you'd like me to talk about, please message me. You can find me on Instagram at Chaffin Donofrio. And you're also welcome to email me at Kara, K-A-R-A, at kcdrealestate.com. I do check everything personally and look forward to hearing from you. So with all of that, make it a beautiful week. And until next time. Loved being here with you today and would love to connect with you more over on Instagram. My handle is linked to the show notes, or you can just type in at Kara Chaffin Donofrio. And I have something special for you as a free gift, my Dynamic Life Journal. This special book has the power to really help you live a soul-inspired life. Go to freegiftfromkara.com. Easy to remember, freegiftfromkara.com. Until next time, beautiful people, sending all my love.